So the first thing we'll enter for the direct materials budget for crop will be units to be produced, and we'll get this from our production budget. So that would be 45,000 for quarter 1. It will be 55,000 for quarter 2. And our next line item will be our direct materials per unit. So this is per bag, or better to put per bag. And that would be that 5 that we mentioned in our part 1 video. So the 5 that we mentioned previously, 5 pounds are needed at 380. So we're going to use the 5 for both quarters. And you can copy it or enter the 5, doesn't really matter. And our next item will be total pounds needed for production. So that's the 5 times the 45,000. That'll give us 225. And we'll copy the formula over for the next 275 for quarter 2. And then what we want to do here is add our desired ending direct materials budget for crop. And this is pounds. Keep in mind pounds, because we're dealing with the raw material. And that amount will be from our projections previously in item 3. So corrupt, we're looking at a beginning for 9,000 for quarter 1, 12,000 for quarter 2 beginning, and then for the third quarter beginning we have 15. So 9, 12, and 15. So for ending, we're going to I didn't lock in. So our ending for quarter 1 is the same as the beginning for quarter 2. I gotta get back up there. Okay, so that would be the April 1st date, which is the ending for quarter 1. I press enter, and then my ending for quarter 2 will be the beginning for quarter 3, which was the 15,000 pounds. So we'll add those two together. 225 plus the 12. We'll call this our total materials required. And then we will subtract we will subtract our beginning inventory, because we don't need to purchase it if we already have it in the beginning. And that'll be your beginning direct materials, the crop. And again, that's in pounds. The units were in bags, and then the actual materials are now in pounds. So we'll take the 237 and we will subtract the beginning inventory for quarter 1, which was, I believe it was 12. Oh no, it was 9. So that was the beginning for quarter 1, the 9,000. And then we will get our direct materials of the crop purchases. So this is the amount we need to actually buy. So this will be the 237 minus the 9. So we're planning to buy 228,000 pounds. And then we want to use the cost per pound for the crop, which was $3.80. So I'm just going to reference, in case you change the price, you'd like to reference the cell so you don't have to update the formulas. So that'll be the 380 times the 228,000, and the total price, or the total cost, the direct material crop purchases be 228,000. Something's wrong here. That should be what? This amount, 380 times, yeah, 866,400. That's better. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for quarter 2. So total materials required is just adding the 275 plus the 15, the desired ending inventory. We need 290. And then we are going to subtract our beginning inventory, which is, for quarter 2, would be the beginning of quarter 2, so the 12,000. And then we will take the difference, so 290 minus the 12, that leaves 278. And then the 278 again, we're going to use the 380 price and multiply it. And I'm just going to, use the 380 again. And then for the formula, I'm just going to copy it over. And then the grand total would be 866,000 plus the 1,056,400. And of course, I can't see it, so I'm going to double click to make it big enough. And I get 1,922,800, and we don't need this other information. And this is our total. So that's our direct material for the crop. It said not to prepare the direct materials budget for the dirt since it was already done for us. Next one we're going to do is direct labor. And with the direct labor, again, you start with the units to be produced, which comes from the production report. So going back to the production budget, we had 45,000 for quarter 1, and we had 55,000 for quarter 2. And next we will look at the direct labor time and hours required for one bag. Can't type. One bag, and that amount would be, let's go up to their instructions. Each bag requires how much time? Requires 15 minutes, which is 1/4 of an hour, since there's 60 minutes in an hour. So hour-wise, we're talking about 0.25. So if we take 0.25 and multiply it by what we need to produce, 0.25 times what we need to produce, so put the plus, 0.2 plus the 0.25 times 45,000. We get 11,250, and this is hours. So this is the total required direct labor hours. And I don't like my little thing, so I'm going to just format real quick. Format cell. Oh, right here. We can reduce that. Okay, so 11,250 hours. And then for our direct labor costs, how much does it cost per hour? Let's see what the going rate is. Go back to the instructions. Our rate for time is $12 per hour. And then we're going to multiply that rate times the actual number of total hours. And that ends up being total direct labor cost of $135,000. And I'm going to just see if I can copy everything over. And I didn't do it right, so let me just go plus 12 here and then plus 12 here. So here we have our 55,000 multiplied by the quarter of an hour, we get a total hours of 13,750 times the standard rate of $12, and that's a total direct labor cost of 165,000 for quarter 2. And if you add both quarter 1 and quarter 2 together, you get the total amount for the first 6 months, which should be 300,000. So that completes our direct labor budget. Then we go on to our selling and admin expenses, because the problem told us not to prepare the manufacturing overhead budget because it was already done. So for the selling, it's going to be based on selling costs. So let's go ahead and go back to our original sales budget. And it said that for quarter 1, we had $2,520,000 in sales. And let's see what we have for the second one. And we'll go ahead and copy the formula over. And these are all dollar amounts. So I want to make sure that it's clear. These are dollar amounts. So let's go to dollar. And yeah, got it. And then what we're going to do is for our selling admin, let's read the problem. It says, number 5, selling and administrative expenses are expected to be 10% of sales plus $150,000 per quarter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the well, this should be budget sales in dollars, not in units. I don't know why it's in. And I'll fix that. So budget sales in dollars. Then we're going to take our variable costs, and then we'll have our fixed costs, and then we'll have our total. So for variable costs, we're going to take the, I think it's 10%. And what I'm going to do here, you see I'm selecting G22, which is the cell the 10% is. But I'm going to press the F4 key. I'm pressing the F4 key right now. And you'll notice that there's 2 dollar signs. And the reason why I'm doing that, because I'm going to copy the formula. And you'll see it'll save us some time in a moment. So $ G $22 times the selling price. I'm going to enter, and it's 252. Now when I copy this formula over to quarter 2, it's going to automatically update it so that it will still use that same 10% because we put the dollar signs around it from G22, and it'll work out perfectly. And then for our fixed costs, and I probably should have waited before I did the copying, but that's no biggie. And then we'll add our fixed plus our variable. And to save me some time, I'm going to highlight those two. Oh, and that's not what we want. I don't know why. Oh, it went up 1. I don't want to do that. So smart, but not smart. So it should be 150 for both periods. And then we want to do our grand total, which is add these two together. And we'll do the same for the 2. And of course, I like the dollar sign, so I'm going to make sure we have dollar signs and all this stuff. So I highlight that, Control, and we're going to make dollar signs, take away the extra pennies, cents, and we are done.